Here we are. Welcome to PGD Podcast. I am so excited to have you. The person who we have today is somebody I call Mama Jumi, and so many other persons who are in our circle call her Mama Jumi, and she's very popular with that name. but her name is Olajumoke Akintunde, and she's my lovely friend from the city of Abuja. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for having me.
It's really good to have you. So I think who we listen to and who we learn from matters. But knowledge is so much. Like there is so much knowledge and information everywhere. I don't know. Have you ever believed in something and then later you realize that it was a lie? Maybe we should start from there.
It's not just something, it's people as well. I guess it was last year. As funny as this might be, there were people I never thought they could be wrong. And this thing happened last year. And it was a big, like for weeks, it was ringing in my head because these were people I was not expecting them to be wrong. And here am I reading something that I truly did not accept, I truly did not concur with. And I'm staying back and I'm like, okay, could I be the one that is wrong? Could I be the one that I feel like maybe I'm deviating? You know, that time when you feel as if you have started backsliding.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. And the point is that
because
these people
you
are
feel
just
like this person
people.
cannot be wrong.
Exactly. And this, because often when you use the word backslider and deviate, people just assume you're talking about religious stuff. These were not just religious people said. Yeah, some of them were religious. But I guess my greatest deliverance came up when I realized that people are people, they're human. And with you, our humanity comes imperfection. We are not perfect. So the thing is that now I expect these people and notions, idea to be half of the many truths, to be half, like is half, no matter how true it is, it's like a part of the many parts that makes a whole truth. So no one has that. I guess that's my deliverance, and I believe that's one of those founding things. They have an idea that I had. There was one time that we were even discussing on Mount Zion, and I said something, and I remember the house correcting me that time, and I went back and I'm like, wow, I never saw it in that light, and I learned that day, and that was one of the time I'm like, okay, people can be wrong, because this was an idea that I received as well, and I've been living by it. Then I brought it to the house, and thank God for the fact that we're able to discuss these things, and I got greater light. So I believe, okay, let me not jump. So there are ideas, and
you can't jump. No, you can't. If you jump, we'll jump back.
We can start a jumping class now.
No, just feel free to jump.
I believe the awareness and the understanding that people can be wrong, and what you thought you knew over time might not be wrong. It might just be life has progressed out of it.
I like that.
It's not that these things might not be wrong. It's just that we are moving at a very fast pace. So it's possible that what you are holding, we have outgrown it. Yes. What the person passed down to you, we have outgrown it. It's no longer tenable for the generation you are living in or the time you are living in currently.
Very true. I think again one of the things I find to be a problem with communicators is how that when you're communicating and then you're communicating to a large audience, like it's a public audience, you should have this understanding that there are different class of people who are in different phases in life, and then there are certain things that you will say that even may be true, but it's not for a certain person in that certain phase. And if that person wrong with that thing, they will have a bad result. You understand? Like I remember, like in school, for instance, one of the examples I like to use, which is there was a time in primary school that if they say 1 minus 2, the question is wrong. The question has to be wrong. Like we would call the attention of the teacher because the question is wrong. But is it not primary 5? I think is it primary 5 or 4? I don't know. When we progressed, one day our math teacher came to the class and then wrote on the board subtracting a big number from a small number, and we thought maybe this is wrong. And then he asked us, and then we're like, the question is wrong. It's not possible. The number is greater
I
than
even
the
would have
other
said
one.
it with full confidence.
And we were so confident because that's what we knew. And then he was like, today I'm going to teach you something new. And then he for instance, 1 minus 2 now, he said is minus 1. Oh God. It was new. Like, wow. So just take the small number away from the big number and then add minus, and that's all. Like, every other person from, let's just say from JS1 now, they know you can subtract a big number from a small number. The only thing is you have a negative result. But then there are a particular class of people in primary school that if that appears in exam, that question is wrong. Maybe it's going to be a bonus mark or something.
Exactly.
Even truth are in dimensions. Because this particular truth can be life for somebody else at a particular time or a phase. Do you get? So I really agree with the progressive part, right? And we are just different, and we are in different phases. And we also have different callings, I believe, right? It's just like somebody feels like he does not need to sleep so much. There are people who don't sleep, like they don't take many hours in a day to sleep. They only sleep for a few hours. There are some persons that your productivity, if you want your brain to work well, you have to sleep up to 6-8 hours. Like, you are not
Praise
the
the
same with the
Lord.
person sleeping 3 hours. You are not wired the same way. You are not called to do the same thing. Do you understand? There are some people who, in maybe creativity, they can sit down and in 6 to 8 hours they will create something beautiful, something magnificent. And there are some other persons that in 30 minutes they will create almost the same thing, almost equal. Like, we are all different and we work differently. So the fact that somebody said 3 hours, if you sleep more than 3 hours, you are lazy. You are not serious. You are not ready for life.
Then
It
you'll be
it
living
may
life
it
in
may not
bundle
be
of it.
talking to you, but then we just don't know how to filter what we pick from social media in a way. I don't know, but should we talk about how to filter what we take from social media? Like, how do you filter? Like, you personally now, how do you filter information?
Okay, thank you very much. The thing is that for me, ever since
Why are
naturally,
you thanking me?
I'm used to I'm used to this. Thank you. This debate now. Thank you for asking this question. Now we are moving to the next question. To sound intelligent now, if you don't do that kind
All
of
right.
thing, they don't say you know book. But either way. So like I was saying that personally, even though then, even when I said recently I discovered that people and things can be wrong, but whatever information I'm receiving, naturally, but I have my standing principles. The good old book, right, said a city without a wall. Paraphrasing now, that every other thing, anything can come in, thieves will come into that city, steal whatever and do whatever they want to do with it. So a city without a wall is at a great disadvantage. And as disheartening as this can be, many people in this generation does not have walls. They don't have values. They don't have principles. They don't have guiding factors that guide their life. There are some information I really want to take, but because I have existing values that do not align with it, I just know that this is a no-no for me. So personally, but you have to have some existing protocols in your life. So let every other information that is coming into your space meet a barricade that they pass through. For example, for people like me, I live by the word of God. Okay, there are things I want to do. There are things I truly do not see anything wrong with it, but because the Bible said no, I've considered. I know this is something I rarely talk about, but I've considered taking alcohol before.